She has these peace cells all around the world and people that talk about peace. Layne Beachley, 7 times world surfing champion. Some of the lessons that I learned from her was very much dedication, persistence. What attracted me to her story was not so much that she was a 7 times world surfing champion, although I found that quite amazing, but it was the fact that was her life, was her own personal struggles to actually get there. And you know, when you read about these successful women that have really done it, you know, the media, often we talk about the great things that they've achieved, but we don't often talk about how hard it was for these women to get there. And Layne lost her mother when she was very young, at age 4. Then a couple of years later found out that she was actually adopted, and it took her many, many, many years to get over that fact. So she turned to the ocean for peace. That was how she actually dealt with the sadness that she felt from a very young girl. But in terms of her own journey and actually getting where she is today, it was not an easy journey. When she was 16, she had her first professional tournament. She came last. For many of us, we could have just given up and have said, you know, I've been surfing since I was 6. I'm now 16. I came last. I'm really no good. But that was really what really fueled her. She really thought, I have something. I have to prove something to myself. And it took her another 10 years, really another 10 years, before she actually got her first world championship at 26, which is actually quite old for this particular sport, and then went on to win it 7 times. So she talks about her 3 pillars, which is determination, persistence, and a lot of hard work as well. I mustn't forget who else is in my book. Michelle Bridges. Now, I often get asked, why would you pick somebody like Michelle Bridges? Now, a lot of you would have seen her recently. We've seen her on our screens as part of The Biggest Loser. She's the real loud, frank, determined woman, very beautiful woman, and but again, it was her life. So for me, with these stories, it's always about the life. It's the stories that nobody ever tells. It's not just the pretty parts at the end, it's how she actually got there. And another one, like Moira, she knew from a really young age, at 13, that she wanted to work in fitness and wanted to make a difference in the world by teaching people about fitness. She didn't know how she would do it. Her family thought she was mad. In fact, her parents were really, her mum in particular, was against it. You know, what are you doing? But she actually convinced her principal to let her have some old tennis courts to teach the kids that were smoking behind the block, and teach them how to do aerobics, and then the teachers as well. So for her, again, it has been a really long and tough journey to get there. Last but not least, Karen Scott is an unknown. For me, with a lot of the stories that I write, and this is just one of the book, but I do a lot of other stories around women as well, it's actually the unknown. So what really drove me to write this book is all of these amazing stories, all these amazing gems, as I call them, and I'm sure there are 100, if not more, of those around the room here today, from all of the women and the men here as well. Karen Scott is a total unknown, and her life story actually blew me away when I first met her. She's from New Zealand. Her claim to fame sadly came after she was crushed in the Christchurch earthquakes. Her whole life, when you read it, has been one tragedy after the other. She was told she could never walk. She's lost her business. She's had to raise 4 kids on her own. You know, a life like maybe some of us may share, but actually quite a tragic life. Her brother was killed. Parents suffered from cancer, one after the other. And yet, when you meet Karen, she's the most positive woman I have ever met. And so for me, with these stories, what I've tried to do was really kind of find out who were the real women at home. You know, how did they actually get to where they are today? And in my little way, it's my way of kind of making a difference and sharing those stories with the rest. And in another way, I guess for me, it's been a very selfish year. It's been a very fun year. It's been my pilgrimage. It's been my opportunity to kind of follow my own passions and also showing my son, who's 15 now, that it doesn't really matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you don't have a degree in journalism. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. You know, once you put your mind to something, you can really do it. So this book is a bit of my own journey, and it's given me the ability to follow my 3 passions, which is storytelling, connecting with people, and really making a difference. I would like to maybe just kind of finish off with a quote that I write a lot about, and actually opens my book. And we sometimes feel that what we do is just a drop in the ocean. But the ocean will be less because of that missing drop. And I guess this is no different here.
Came into Philippines, and we started, the Women's Interfaith Network started a project called Nishkam Project, where we actually, there was the Aboriginal or the indigenous community of Mindanao, the South Philippines, who were up in the mountains, no roads going up there. So when the floods took place, all the aid that came, there was a lot of aid that was sent by all over, including Australia, but never got to the indigenous people of those mountains because they were too hard, they were in the hard basket. So one of the young persons called Linalio has been a mentor. I've been a mentor for him, and he sends me an SOS saying, Mom, I don't know what to do. He is the tribal leader, he's the prince of that area. And everybody is now, people are just getting washed away and they're dying. So we started that project. We actually collected rice and different things, and we sent a container, and that wasn't easy, but we did it. And now we're ongoingly supporting that community. And I'm going to invite Rachel to just go through a few things that we've been doing with them, and we're selling with, Rachel has so kindly found a donor to present with us a picture, a painting, which we're going to raffle today. So I'll invite Rachel to say a few words then. Thank you.
Okay. As Auntie was saying, we've got a raffle just to help raise money to send to Lanelio to continue on building the school that is in Mindanao. And an Aboriginal person from the Northern Territory by the name of Ricky Drill has given permission for a print of one of his paintings to be raffled off today. So he's done it in his traditional style, this artwork, and there's a story by the painting to let you understand the actual dreaming of that image. Yeah? And there's still raffle tickets available, so if anyone would like to buy some, I think they're over there still selling them. It just helped to fundraise for Lanelio's project. I met Lanelio in Kuala Lumpur, and he was talking about wanting education to come to his community so that people there can learn English, maths, sciences, as well as maintaining their own traditional knowledges as well. So the young people and the elders work together, and they learn about the environment, what medicines are in the bush. They're still living off the land, as well as incorporating a modern day lifestyle, having packaged food. So Lanelio, there's 4 teachers that have to travel 6 to 8 hours to go up into the villages and bring these teachings to the young people. And they need support. It costs about $139 of our money each month to support one teacher to be able to go up into the mountains and do education with the young people. I think it translates into 6,000 of their dollars, 139 of ours. They do have a motorbike, which you can see they take supplies up. And Lanelio just wanted to share, because he knows that there's people out here supporting his project, just some of the things that are happening up there and the issues and problems that are identified by his people is that how rapidly the world is changing, but how much of a challenge that is for people living a traditional lifestyle, because they don't have factories to produce papers, they don't have computers to keep up with this knowledge and information that's always being updated. So they just need support from outside their community to bring them up to speed with the world around them, so that they can bridge, because a lot of indigenous populations around the world are always asked to, a perfect example is, speak up, we can't hear you, use the microphone. But traditionally speaking, it's always the case where Indigenous people have to stretch past halfway mark so that the rest of the world can hear them, see them, acknowledge them. So working really hard, learning English, but nobody's learning the Indigenous languages. So Indigenous populations have to bust their guts just to keep up with modern day society. And this is part of the struggle in Mindanao in the village there. They want to bridge, they want to connect with the broader world, be part of the global community, contribute, share, exchange. But they have to work really hard, and learning English is just one of those challenges. So if anyone's interested, part of what we're doing with our interfaith work is supporting communities to be able to connect with other communities so that people can better understand one another. And Nelio is just one of those people who we're supporting today. So I encourage anyone, if they've got a spare gold coin rattling around, feel free to buy a ticket and you might win a beautiful artwork that's from someone from Australia, an Indigenous artist. And donations as well, as Auntie Jessie's just saying. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. As you know, we are going a little bit behind time. Well, that's why we thought we'd talk about the school before we go into the groups. We have got 3 questions we are asking, and where you're sitting, just sort of face each other and make a group of 8, 9 people. And we've got some butcher paper which is lying there, and just write some points. And we only give you 20 minutes for that. If you can just discuss between you your feelings and your understanding of these questions. The questions are actually on the program. Have everybody got a program there? If not, please share. And then we'll just call for some.
Anybody else?
The 3 questions are, what does the word leader mean to you? The word leader mean to you? You know, leader means many, many things. We all are here from rich cultures. Each one of us have our own interpretation of the word leader. Who is the leader? Is it the youngest child in the house, or the mother or the father? I think the bosses are our kids now. Where are we today? And what are some amazing things about women? I'm hoping that the men that are with us here, who beautifully have come to support us, will tell us how beautiful and how great we are. Thank you very much. Sorry, there's another little thing that we were going to do. Auntie Caroline was supposed to be here, but she couldn't make it. So we had Women of Faith brought gifts for her, which we are going to put in a basket here. There's a basket here that we have, and we're going to present it to Auntie Walda, who then will take it to her. We're very blessed to be on this land. She holds the native title for this land. We take it for granted that everything is ours, when everything belongs to the greater creator. But then there were the First Nation people. And it's time that we all heal with them too. So that's what we were intending to do with her, but she's not here, so we'll still put things into our basket to give it to her. Thank you very much.